The future of American warfare is here, and it's spelled AI. As technologies advance, so do our adversaries. But here at the War Department, we are not sitting idly by. Under the leadership of President Trump, America will lead the charge on this technological transformation by revolutionizing the way we win. And that's why today we are unleashing GenAI.mil. This platform puts the world's most powerful frontier AI models, starting with Google Gemini, directly into the hands of every American warrior. At the click of a button, AI models on GenAI can be utilized to conduct deep research, format documents, and even analyze video or imagery at unprecedented speed. Building on the great work of Undersecretary Emil Michael and his team, we will continue to aggressively field the world's best technology to make our fighting force more lethal than ever before. And all of it is American-made. The possibilities with AI are endless. Now, let's get to work.
Let's get to work. Welcome to Technocracy.news. How's that for an intro?
Oh, boy.
The future of warfare is AI. But my question is, Patrick, to start, don't you think the military has been using AI for a long time? Way before we've known about it?
Yeah, exactly, yes. At this point, however, putting it in the hands of everybody in the Pentagon, as well as even in soldiers' hands, this is a spread. This is an embedding in the whole system, if you will. Mm-hmm. AI has been used certainly behind the scenes in the military for a long time. But now they're going to roll it out everywhere, and they're making the declaration to that effect. So, what does this mean to us? Well, they have a brand new website. Is what is it called? .mil. I don't remember the exact name of it. Well, he said it.
I think it's just AI.mil, right? Here it is.
Maybe, yeah.
Enable adoption of digital tools through policies and partnerships.
Yep.
Speed. Scaled. Data infrastructure and mission analysis.
Yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're going to dig into this for sure as time goes on. Boy, this is so disturbing at this point. There's a study that was released by MIT recently that surveyed all of the companies that are adopting AI. Mm-hmm. And what they found is that there's basically no addition to the bottom line because they invested in AI in the first place. In other words, it's failing for companies. You're going to see a massive rollback of investments scaled to that are already been committed to AI and business. When they figure out why are we doing this? We can't get the ROI out of it, so we're going to dump the whole thing. Well, business is going to get the idea, but the government doesn't. The government is going to embed this so thoroughly across every agency in the government, it risks completely screwing up government everywhere. It's just amazing to me because for all the benefits that they're selling, it's all hype. There's no way that they can say with certainty that this is going to do any good for anybody. And business is already figuring this out. I have a son. I think I told you that he's in the programming business. He works for a large company as a CTO. And his CEO would like them to use AI. He won't do it. He says it's a lost leader for us because even if you can make a program with AI to do something, fill in the blanks, and then you get it in production, it might work, by the way, straight off. But when you go in to make the changes or some changes to the program, you can't figure out what they did. So you have no certainty that you can actually change the program that you just implemented. This is dangerous, totally dangerous, because at that point, it's out of human control.
Mm-hmm.
If you multiply that in every instance that AI is going to do something for the government, you can see, man, there's going to be so mass confusion. And at some point, AI is just going to take over and say, well, that's the way it is. You can't do it. Too bad. Here's your programs. Here's your agentic AI, whatever. And you figure it out. But they'll never figure it out.
Man.
Crazy.
Yeah. Crazy. Well, we have this first article, which kind of ties in as well.
Oh,
yes. With the push in the federal government, not just the Pentagon, with AI and Trump's Genesis Mission executive order titled, "After Trump Signs Genesis Mission EO, Here Comes the Humanoid Robots." Now, why is that, Patrick? What about this EO is going to accelerate the movement of the humanoid robots?
Well, we know that the Genesis Mission executive order basically it wasn't funded, by the way. That they had no opportunity to say, well, how much money is going to cost. You know, it's going to cost a lot of money, but they'll figure it out as time goes on. But the Genesis Mission basically offers a blank check to the AI industry to bail them out if anything goes wrong. Of course, everything's going to go wrong at some point. But nevertheless, it's an open book for the military at this point. Well, now the Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, is leading the charge just as Elon Musk prepares to make more than 1 million Optimus robots in 2026. You might remember earlier this year, I said that 25 and 26 are going to be the year of the robot.
Mm-hmm.
It's anybody could have seen that, by the way. I had no crystal ball at all. But at this point, all the prototypes are ready to roll. And now Elon Musk is going to start manufacturing at scale Optimus robots. What does this mean for us? Well, they're going to be all over the place sooner than you can blink an eye. You're going to see them on the street. You're going to see them in factories. You're going to see them replacing workers all over the place. Well, here you go. Remember also, I like that video, by the way. So it is amazing. That's not a guy in a suit, okay? That's a real robot running there, by the way.
And that just shows how much they've progressed. I mean,
yes.
That's just, the top is May 2023, the bottom is December 2025. So
yes, exactly. That's amazing. Just looking at that, just absolutely amazing. It's surreal. This is not a joke, though. This was not an AI movie, if you will. Certified that's the real deal. So at this point, robots are going to be all over the place. And you might remember that that's the robots are an extension of AI, because the robots can communicate even with their own internal computer as well as communicating with a master computer, like one of these AI data centers, for instance. So the robots are going to be an extension of AI. They're going to be used in combat for sure. Humanoid robots. Just imagine a robot that can chase you down at speed, and you can't outrun it. Or if it wants to take you out, if it has some way to shoot you or hold a pistol or whatever, or there's a pistol built into it, like Terminator. Well, you're done. This is crazy. But at this point, the Secretary of Commerce, especially Howard Lutnick, we've talked about him extensively. He's an arch technocrat for sure. He's a guy behind the crypto financial system that Trump has erected this year. He's probably driving a lot of this at this point. especially with Trump's new executive order that he's anticipating to sign now, granting or preventing the states from using AI regulations to control AI. This is another part of the story. They're screwing up government all top to bottom, in my opinion. This is going to so screw up our government, you can't believe it. Whoa. And now Trump is saying, well, you states over there, you forget it. You can't do anything now to regulate AI. We're going to basically, the federal government is going to take over. We don't want this. This is crazy.
And no matter how much you like Trump, you can't go along with this. This is not a conservative value at all to restrict the states from being able to regulate something. I mean, if you're telling the states they can't, and he has no authority to tell them that they can't, but what he can do is stop paying them certain funds or withhold certain funding if they do put restrictions on them, correct? Which no state is going to do.
Well, look, let me tell you how this is going to play out. Who's advising Trump that he can get away with this in the first place? I'll suggest to you was probably all the tech bros around him, like David Sachs, et cetera. But I'll tell you, the main guy here is the Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick. Mm-hmm. You'll see this come out, I think, soon, that he's the one that suggested we can use the Commerce Act, or Commerce Clause, if you will, to prevent the states from regulating AI because it interferes with commerce between the states. I can see that argument being made. So this is an obscure clause, by the way, in the Commerce Act, but I can see how will position it to say you states can't do this because you're going to screw up the commerce between states, et cetera. And some states will buy it, some others won't. But it's going to chip away at the concept of states' rights for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we have to go to a break. We'll be back with more of this in just a moment.
News is moving faster than ever, and so are we. Worldview Tube brings you 24/7 live stream coverage and now real-time alerts when it matters most. Once you have the Worldview Tube app installed, exit the app and navigate your way to Settings. In Settings, locate the tab labeled Notifications. Select the Notifications tab. Scroll down until you locate the Worldview Tube app icon. Select the tab, and here you can turn on and customize your notification experience for the Worldview Tube app. News doesn't wait, and neither should you. Turn on push notifications to stay informed. Every headline as it happens.
Do you appreciate all the free programming we produce here at Worldview Tube? Well, if you do, we need your partnership now. If you're already supporting us, thank you. If you're not, would you please consider doing so? We have to have a big November and December end of the year giving. Please go here right now to this website, worldviewfoundation.com, worldviewfoundation.com. You can give through credit card. You can give through PayPal. You'll find our mailing address there if you prefer to support us through the mail. You'll also find our phone number. Simply use that phone number by leaving a voicemail for Melissa or texting her, and my wife will get back with you and help you make your contribution over the phone. We send out tax receipts with our EIN number, well, the first week of February of each year. We, again, have to have a very big November and December as we get ready for pushing out more Christian Worldview programming for 2026. So thank you for going now to worldviewfoundation.com. That's worldviewfoundation.com.
All right, welcome back from the break. Next off, we have technocrat Sam Altman declares code red for ChatGPT. You have Sam Altman is beating his coders like slave on a ship to row faster. They will sink all together in the end. OpenAI has minuscule income compared to Google and Meta, but Altman has overcommitted finances and underestimated his competition. As a venture capital guy, he can't personally code his way out of his dilemma. Even Trump's Genesis mission EO is to financially backstop the entire industry will not help him at this point. So is this about OpenAI's revenue problems?
It is. And also the fact that competition is catching up to him.
Mm-hmm.
Gemini all of a sudden is just going boom. They're in the race for sure, and they're in it to win it. So Sam Altman sees his AI platform falling behind. This is a very competitive market, and he's been the leader along the way for what since ChatGPT was first released in 2023. So at this point, he's sweating bullets because he's committed his company to something like $1 trillion of investment over the next 10 years. He does not have that money, period. So he was whining to the government just recently before Trump's EO came out, the Genesis mission EO. He was whining to the government, or publicly, that the government needs to be the backstop for him and the industry to prevent them from, missing the deadlines, if you will, for repaying the debt. Well, Sam Altman is a con man, totally he's conned everybody at this point. And he said, well, if we can just get a little more money from investors, seed capital, and whatever injections from this government or that government, Qatar, or it doesn't matter where the money comes from, he doesn't care. He's made all these commitments. He can't keep them at this point. He's running out of money. He has no revenue to speak of. Well, they have a little bit of revenue, but it's all based on consumers like you and me, maybe paying, subscribing. That doesn't cut it. No way that they can do that. Other AI platforms like Claude, for instance, they went after the business market. They don't really survive on subscription income for sure. But OpenAI has made a fatal mistake, I think. Sam Altman is not a coder. He's not a purist. He's a champion of AI, but you have to remember, this is an investment guy. He only cares about the money, not about what's going to do to anything. So, having said that, he's sweating right now. And he's going to sweat blood before this is done, because if OpenAI falls behind on any level at this point, especially in the competition for being the leader of the industry, he's going to be out of a job, and he's going to become the pariah of the tech world at some point. So what's his choice at this point? Well, maybe he can negotiate with Gemini or Google to buy him out. Maybe Microsoft would buy him out. Who knows? But at this point, Sam Altman is on he's on the red line, let's say, at this point.
And this isn't just going to affect OpenAI, though. I mean, if OpenAI starts going downhill, that's going to affect the whole market, right? Because, I mean, the whole market is basically based on AI right now. The AI stocks are basically controlling the whole market. So if OpenAI starts plummeting, other AI stocks are going to come down just because of people are going to be scared that the biggest AI company is not doing well, right?
Exactly. And there was a great video that I posted this week. I can't remember exactly what it was. But let's see if I can find it here really quickly. Here we go. KaBoom. It's the next story. I knew it was somewhere. Uh-huh. Big tech's AI debt will crash the economy. This is a great, I think there's a great video in here by our friend in Sweden, Vanessa. Uh-huh. She just nailed it to the wall. We can't play the whole thing, but you listen to the video and you see the transcript that I put down below. But the idea here, AI is a bag of hot air, a gaslight operation, a Ponzi scheme. Any way you cut it, it's going to fail at some point. Now, there will be survivors going out the other side of this. But in the meantime, there has to be a bubble that pops and has to be a crash in that market where everything will be sorted out. And it's going to be different. It'll look different when the companies that survive will look different after the whole thing is over. But at this point, Sam Altman especially, because he was a leader in the first place, all these other companies came from him.
Uh-huh.
And he's constructed a Ponzi scheme. Now, I don't want to get sued for saying that, but I'll tell you what, it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. I think it's probably a duck.
Well, I mean, just this chart, I don't know who made this chart, but if this chart is accurate, that's what it seems like. And you have NVIDIA right in the center, and the teal line, the kind of light blue is investment. And you have investments going out and investments coming in, all from these same companies.
Yes.
Yes. You have the one investment from NVIDIA into OpenAI, and then you have all these other investments coming off of that and coming back to the different, companies, going back and forth. So it really does seem suspicious.
Well, it's beyond suspicious at this point. Somehow people are going to really figure this out. Actually, Bloomberg has figured this out. That's their chart, right?
Okay, so this isn't some person making a chart. This is Bloomberg that has put this chart out.
Oh yeah, exactly. So what's happened in the tech world? They've created their own updraft system, like when a fire gets going and it creates its own weather system, and then it's just out of control. Well, this is what's happened here. This ecosystem that's feeding itself, not from outside necessarily, and it's not affecting outside, but they've created their own infrastructure to swap money back and forth to where everybody can claim income. But nobody, it's just the same money. It's just being, recirculated, if you will.
Uh-huh.
At some point, it's going to crash to the ground. It has to. Almost guaranteed. So maybe 2026 is going to be the year of the crash for AI. That doesn't mean that's the end of AI. Don't get me wrong here, for sure. But AI will survive as a discipline. But who's going to be in control of it? I hope it's not Sam Altman. He's been horrible for industry. And you have to remember, too, a lot of these people that work for him in the first place, even Elon Musk, they started from OpenAI in the first place to start their companies, like Microsoft and Elon Musk started Grok after he left OpenAI and had a fit over Sam Altman, what he's going to do with the company. And he said, I'm out of here. I'm going to start my own company. Well, that's a good example. Grok, not Grok, but Claude with Anthropic, that was started by an ex-employee from OpenAI. So OpenAI has been instrumental for getting all these programmers started, and then they split out and they did their own thing.
Yeah, and these charts on this other article, the first one, the Sam Altman article, are showing you as well how these other companies are catching up. This one's Gemini users spend more time chatting than those of rival chatbots. So, they just went up like a bullet, but the more people are chatting on Gemini than ChatGPT, and they're catching up on their app downloads as well.
Yes, exactly. So there's no wonder that Sam Altman is sweating bullets right now. That's all you can say.
Yeah,
he's sweating it.
And the biggest issue is not just app downloads and all that. It's finding a way to balance the books and make a return on investment.
Exactly.
Because they're putting billions of dollars into this.
Somebody suggested this is as big as the tulip craze in the 1600s, where that people decided they wanted to buy tulips, and all the, who knows why, I'm not sure, but when they got all focused on tulips and the price went through the roof, and all of a sudden they were swapping contracts back and forth, and not like kind of like futures contracts. And all of a sudden somebody woke up and said, what are we doing here? I'm not going to honor this contract that I just signed for tulips. And then the market went from 100% down to like 0% in about 2 weeks. It was just over.
Wow.
You know,
and like you said, this is, if AI crashes, that's mainly AI stocks and AI companies that are, all the hype crashes, but the AI is still around, and all the stuff we warn about is still in play with it being used for nefarious reasons.
It is. And unfortunately, AI has a habit of making mistakes, if you can believe that. It's a machine. It's not human. It's going to make mistakes nevertheless, because it's relying on information that's faulty in the first place. That's where the training comes in. It's trained on all the internet, all the information on the internet, and so it's going to make faulty assumptions and stuff. So we're going to see this going into the fabric of our government now. If you think the bureaucracy was bad before, just wait.
Yeah, and if that sounds crazy, I mean, I listened to an interview Joe Rogan did with Elon the other day, and they were talking about AI and government. So that's not some crazy conspiracy. Joe Rogan is for it. He says, what are we going to do about the corruption problem with politicians and corrupt politicians? It's like the only solution is to give the control over to AI. Yeah. And Elon's talking about Google, who I guess went viral I think it was a few months ago, where someone asked, what's more important, nuclear, what's more devastating to our country, nuclear war or someone misgendering someone? And it said misgendering someone. So he called up the guy at Google and he said, what's going on here? And he said, that someone else did that. So it just shows that it's able to be manipulated and used for political and control, political gain and control.
Exactly. So, well, we'll be back next week.
Yep. All the time.
Well,
we'll be back on Thursday, right?
Thursday.
Yeah. This time I'm right. I usually have it wrong the day of the week, but we'll be back on Thursday with another episode. Till then, take care.
That's good. God bless.